Hi girls, we're just going to do a quick recap of this week and what you need to know from PE this week. It might be something that's just worth listening to a couple of times and just give you an understanding of what you need to go back and work a little bit more on. So the three things you really need to understand this week are the benefits of participating in physical activity, the National Physical Activity Guideline, and the ways that we can measure physical activity and the advantages and disadvantages of each of those. So if we begin by the reasons why people participate in physical activity and the reasons why we would encourage people to participate in physical activity, they need to go under the headings of health reasons, physical and mental well-being, social reasons, economic reasons, environmental reasons. And for each of those, you really do need to know a couple of those reasons. So for example, for social reasons, one of the reasons that we get people to participate in physical activity is to decrease their social isolation and to connect them with other people, to improve their social skills and to improve their self-esteem. For the environmental benefits, you might talk about reducing noise pollution, reducing traffic congestion, reducing carbon emissions, and creating a safer environment by having more people on the streets and outside. For the economic benefits, things like reduced absenteeism, improved productivity of employees, increased health saving, reduced crime, and increasing in employment through the fitness sector are all reasons why we encourage physical activity. For physical and mental benefits, which also falls sort of under those health benefits, we actually have an improved management of weight and improving sleep, improving concentration and ability to focus, and then decreasing the risk of all sorts of lifestyle diseases, so coronary heart disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke. All of those risks are reduced by participating in physical activity. So you really do need to understand the benefits of participation. The second part is about the National Physical Activity Guidelines and the specific guidelines for each stage of the life. So you need to understand both the activity guidelines as well as the advice on sedentary behaviour and media. So if we look at adults, for adults which is 18 to 65, it's 30 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity on most days of the week, and those 30 minutes can be accumulated rather than all at once. With adults for sedentary behaviour, it's just a matter of trying to be as active as you can. For older adults, one addition is about doing strength-based training. For 12 to 17-year-olds, as well as 5 to 12-year-olds, a change to the guidelines is about vigorous activity every day for 60 minutes and a 2-hour limit on screen time. And for younger people as well, one of the things about sedentary behaviour is trying to reduce sitting time. So you do need to go back and have a look at each of those guidelines and know that you can state them by heart because many questions refer to those. The final thing that you need to be able to do from this week is understand why we measure physical activity and how we measure it. The dimensions we use to measure we often refer to as FIT principle, frequency, intensity, time and type, and that's how we try and measure activity levels. The two ways we can are via subjective methods or objective methods. Subjective methods are when the person themselves describes their physical activity or their behaviours. Objective methods is when it's externally observed or devised what those methods are. Advantages of subjective is you can do it for large population groups, it's easy to administer and it's cheap. Some of the disadvantages is inaccuracy and social desirability bias. For objective methods, we know it's very accurate, it gives you a lot of data and it's good for small population groups. Some of the detrimental parts of it is that it's expensive, you can only administer for a small number of people and often you need expertise to administer them. You really need to be able to speak about every single one. What is it? How does it measure performance? What elements does it measure? And advantages and disadvantages. So they're the three things that you really need to go over for this week. Why we want people to do physical activity, how we measure in terms of NPAG, and how we measure whether people are meeting NPAG. Thanks, girls.